You are summoned to a place of perfect desolation. Your ship hangs in the black above a world called Kilo 734. It is a name from a star chart, a designation for a sphere of lifeless rock. You have visited dozens of worlds like this, worlds that lost their cosmic lottery. Their star grew too hot or their core went cold. They are sad places, full of a quiet, natural melancholy. They are cosmic headstones, weathered by time. This world is different. Your ship's companion AI, Orion, confirms your feeling. His voice is calm, a soothing counterpoint to the void. Scans show a complete absence of residual energy. He pauses. There is no radiation, no seismic activity, no magnetic field. Another pause. By all metrics, this world should not be this quiet. It is a statistical impossibility. You look at the gray sphere on the main view screen. It is not just dead. It feels curated. It feels intentionally empty. You have a gift or a curse, depending on the day. You speak for the dead planets. You listen to their final echoes. It is why they send you to these silent places. You are a cosmic archaeologist of final moments. But you have never felt a silence like this. It is a heavy blanket, an active presence. It feels like a warning. You tell Orion to prepare the shuttle. You have to go down there. You have to touch it. You walk to the airlock, your suit sealing around you. The familiar hiss and click is a comfort. It is a sound of life in a place defined by its absence. You look back at the bridge. Orion's single blue optic glows on a console. He does not need to speak. You know what he is thinking. Be careful. This grave is not a peaceful one. You nod once and step into the shuttle. The silence is waiting for you. The landing is smooth. Your shuttle rests on a plain of impossibly fine dust. It is the color of ash. It covers everything in a uniform layer. There are no mountains, no craters, no features at all. Just a perfect, smooth surface. It is a world that has been wiped clean. You exit the craft, your boots making the only sound. A soft crunch in the gray powder. The air is thin, non-existent. The sky is a perfect, star-dusted black. You walk away from the shuttle. The light from its windows seems small here. It feels intrusive in the profound darkness. You kneel down. This is the moment you have come for. This is the ritual. You have done this on 50 other worlds. But your heart beats faster this time. Your hand trembles as you unseal the glove of your suit. The cold of the vacuum bites at your exposed skin. You take a breath you do not need. Then you press your bare palm flat against the dust. And the world screams. It is not a sound. It is a feeling. A memory that crashes into your mind with the force of a supernova. You are not you anymore. You are the planet. You feel the life that once thrived here. Great, gentle creatures that swam in methane seas, crystalline forests that chimed in the wind. You feel its pride, its joy, its simple, profound existence. Then you feel the fear, a cold wave of terror that washes over everything. This world did not die of natural causes. This world did not fade away. It was unmade. It was erased. You feel the methodical process. A force arrived. It did not use fire or bombs. It used something colder, something absolute. It unwound the very fabric of existence. It turned cities to dust. It turned oceans to grit. It turned living beings into sterile particles. This was a murder. A silent, patient, and perfect murder. The planet's final thought was not sadness. It was a scream of sheer, undiluted horror. You are still kneeling in the dust. The scream echoes in your soul. The planet's ghost is not at peace. It is trapped in its final moment. It wants you to see. It wants you to know. The memory it shares with you sharpens. It pushes past the terror and the pain. It wants to show you the face of its killer. You brace yourself. You open your mind to the ghost's final gift. A warning meant for you and you alone. You do not see a fleet of warships. You do not see a monster. You see a shape against the stars. It is a hole in reality, a perfect geometric absence of light and matter. It is a shadow that consumes. It radiates nothing, no heat, no energy, only a field of absolute stillness that dissolves everything it touches. The planet shows you this image. It holds it for you. It burns the sight of the silent void into your mind. This ancient memory feels fresh. It feels urgent. The planet held this image for millennia. It waited in the dark. It waited for someone who could listen, someone who could understand. You pull your hand back from the surface. The connection breaks. You are yourself again, alone on the gray plain. The dust on your skin feels cold. Your fingers are numb, but the image of the unmaking is now a part of you. You know what is out there. You get back to your ship, the dust of Kilo 734 on your suit. Orion scans you, his blue light flickering with concern. Your biosigns are erratic. You were kneeling for nearly an hour. You barely heard him. An hour felt like a lifetime and a second all at once. You project the memory onto the main screen. The image of the void appears, a perfect hole in the universe. Orion goes silent. His processors race, trying to analyze something that has no properties to analyze. You set a course for the Citadel. It is the heart of the Galactic Council. The oldest races in the known universe reside there. You have to tell them. You have to make them understand. Orion's calm voice returns, but with an edge you have never heard before. Their logic is rigid. They will demand data. This is a memory, a feeling. You look at the image of the void. Then they will have to learn a new way to listen. You stand in the great hall of the Council of Stars. The air hums with ancient power. Light from a captive star illuminates the chamber. Before you sit the elder races. The glimmering host, beings of pure energy contained in crystalline shells. The silicon weave, a collective consciousness woven from living metal. And seated above them all, the elder ones. They are beings of immense age and perfect logic. Their forms are shrouded in cloaks of shifting gravity. You are a human, a representative of a young species, a loud, emotional, and chaotic race by their standards. They see you as a child speaking in a room of scholars. You take a breath and you begin. You tell them about your gift. You describe the silent worlds. You explain what you found on the world with no name. You do not speak of ghosts or feelings. You use their language. You call it a residual consciousness imprint. You call it a biological data transfer. You describe what the planet showed you. A silent force. A methodical erasure of life. An enemy that leaves no evidence a physicist could measure. You project the image of the void into the center of the hall. The hole in space hangs there, drinking the light. The chamber grows colder. The glimmering host shimmers with agitation. The silicon weave ripples. But the elder ones remain perfectly still. Their logic is a fortress. They are waiting to find the flaw in your story. The elder one, known as Prime, finally speaks. Its voice is not sound. It is a series of modulated chimes that your translator turns into sterile words. We have reviewed the sensor logs from your vessel. The chimes are calm, dismissive. We have reviewed the long-range scans of the Kilo 734 system. We find nothing. Prime gestures to the image of the void. This image is a projection from your own mind. It is not data. It is a dream. Another elder, one, adds its own chimes to the conversation. Your species is known for its potent imagination, a valuable trait for art, a dangerous one for policy. They tell you their machines are flawless. They have scanned that sector for 10,000 years. No energy weapon, no kinetic force could sterilize a planet so perfectly. It is impossible. Therefore, it did not happen. Your experience is labeled an anomaly, an emotional echo in a sensitive mind. They thank you for your report. They commend your species' passion. It is the most polite, most absolute dismissal you have ever received. They are telling you to go home, to forget what you saw. They are advising you to let the dead stay dead. The session is closed. The light in the hall dims. You are left alone with the image of the void. You are a prophet with a warning no one believes. You now know true loneliness. You do not go home. You go back to the star charts. You go back to the silence. If the council wants data, you will give them a mountain of it. You take the memory from the murdered world. You treat it like a psychic fingerprint. You instruct Orion to scan galactic records for planets that died in a similar way. Planets that went silent without any known star science reason. The search takes weeks. Orion's processors run hot. He complains this is harder than calculating the meaning of life. You tell him it is the meaning of life right now. The first match appears. A gas giant in the Serpent's Coil Nebula. Its core of metallic hydrogen went inert 300,000 years ago. No one knew why. You go there. The silence is the same. The psychic scream is the same. The memory of the geometric void is the same. You add its voice to the choir in your mind. You find another, a water world in the forgotten halo stars. Its oceans were boiled into nothing, yet the planet itself was not even scorched. Its ghost shows you the same silent killer. You build a map. Each dead world is a point of light, each one a gravestone in a trail that stretches back into the deep past. A pattern begins to emerge from the chaos, a slow, methodical line of travel. The killer is not random. It is systematic. It is moving from the outer rim of the galaxy, spiraling slowly inward. It moves with a patience that is terrifying. It has been doing this for millions of years. It is a trail of cosmic graveyards, a silent plague creeping toward the galaxy's vibrant core. You listen to the chorus of the dead. Each planet's memory is a piece of a dark puzzle. They were not just victims. They were observers in their final moments. They recorded what they could. A world of crystalline thinkers gave you a name for the void's effect. They called it the Great Unmaking. It was the complete disassembly of complex matter into base elements. They felt their own minds dissolving into sand. Another world, a race of symbiotic fungi, had a different name. They called it the silence that consumes. They experienced it as a wave of absolute order, a force that hated the beautiful chaos of life. It smoothed out everything. It made everything simple and dead. A third world, one that communicated through gravitational pulses, had no name for it. It only had a single concept, a harvester, something that reaps what it did not sow. You take their names, their concepts. You give the enemy a title your own mind can hold. The harvester. It feels right. It feels true. It is not a conqueror. It is not a destroyer. It is something that methodically gathers up life. It tidies the universe. It sweeps away the beautiful, messy complexity of existence. And now you have its trail, you have its name, and you have a chilling realization of where it is going next. Orion lays the map across the main view screen. The trail of dead worlds forms a perfect vector, an arrow pointing across a vast expanse of empty space. His voice is grim. The trajectory is unambiguous. The margin for error is less than 1%. The arrow points directly at the Kepler-18 system, a bright, young star with 7 planets. You pull up the system data, your blood runs cold. The third planet is not a barren rock. It is a garden world. Its name is Xylos. It is classified as a pre-contact civilization. The inhabitants are a graceful species of silicon-based fauna. They live in cities woven from living wood. They have art, music, and a deep connection to their world. 4 billion souls who have no idea what is coming for them. They have never looked to the stars with fear. They have only ever looked with wonder. A joke you once heard comes to mind. What is the difference between a tragedy and a statistic? You are about to find out. Orion calculates the arrival time. Based on its historical speed, the Harvester will reach the Kepler-18 system in 3 standard cycles. 3 turns of the galactic clock. Not enough time to convince the Council. Not enough time to evacuate a world. A wave of despair washes over you. 4 billion lives are now resting on your shoulders. You, the woman who speaks for ghosts, the one nobody believes. You slump into your command chair. The weight is too much. Then you feel something, a new feeling rising from the choir in your mind. It is not fear. It is defiance. The dead are not just screaming. They are angry. They are showing you more than their last moments. They are showing you their lives, their knowledge, their technology. A planet that was once home to a race of sonic engineers shows you a vision. They show you how to weaponize resonance, how to shatter matter with focused sound. Another world, a place of gravity shapers, sends you blueprints, schematics for bending space-time itself. The knowledge of 100 murdered civilizations floods your mind. It is a ghost fleet, a library of lost arts and forbidden sciences. They are offering you their secrets. They are giving you a plan, a blueprint for a final defense. The Harvester is silent. It is orderly. It is logical. Its weapon is the absence of everything. So you must fight it with the opposite. You will not build a weapon of metal and fire. You will build a weapon of memory and feeling, a weapon it cannot possibly comprehend. The plan is insane. It is beautiful. It is the only chance you have. The Harvester feasts on the simple. It feeds on the silence. So you must give it complexity. You must give it noise. The plan is to focus the final psychic scream of every dead world. You must unite their final cries, their grief, their love, their terror. You must channel it all into a single, focused blast of raw, chaotic life. A choir of the fallen, singing one final song of defiance. You will be the conductor of this impossible orchestra. You must become the conduit for a trillion voices. The psychic energy could tear your mind apart. It could shatter your soul into 1,000,000 pieces. You look at the image of Xylos on your screen, the beautiful world of woven cities and peaceful people. The risk is not a choice. It is a necessity. The ghosts of the galaxy have chosen you, and you will not let them down. You finally understand why it has to be you, why it has to be a human. The Elder Ones see empathy as a flaw. They see emotion as noise that corrupts the purity of logic. For millennia, they have tried to engineer it out of their existence. They see your gift not as a strength, but as a mental disorder. A strange side effect of your species' chaotic biology. They think you are broken, but they are wrong. Your empathy is the key. It is the language the ghosts speak. It is the bridge between the living and the dead. The Harvester is a creature of pure logic, a being of sterile design. It understands physics. It understands energy. It understands the cold equations of the universe. But it cannot understand love. It cannot comprehend loss. It has no concept of the fierce, illogical desire for one more sunrise. Your empathy is a weapon it has no shield for. Humanity's greatest perceived weakness is its greatest strength. You take the Ghost Fleet's blueprint to the only people who might listen. You take it to humanity. You transmit the data packet to Fleet Command. It contains everything. The star map, the voice of every dead world, the vision of the Harvester, the insane, beautiful plan for the weapon of memory. You wait for their response. For a moment, you fear they will be just like the Council. They will call you a fool. They will tell you to stand down. The reply comes in less than an hour. It is not a dismissal. It is a single question from the Fleet Admiral. How fast can we build it? A smile touches your lips for the first time in weeks. Your chaotic, emotional, and wonderful species has not let you down. They believe. That is all you needed. The shipyards of humanity roar to life. A project of unprecedented scale begins. They call it the resonance engine. Engineers and scientists work without sleep. They are building a device from the dreams of dead aliens. It is a cathedral of glowing crystals and quantum wiring. It is part science, part art, and part prayer. The central chamber is designed for you. It is a focusing lens, meant to take the whispers in your mind and amplify them 1 trillion times. It will turn the grief of dead worlds into a roar that can cross a solar system and break an enemy made of silence. The engine is humanity's gamble. It is their faith in you made real. You stand on the bridge of the flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. An unsubtle name, but it gets the point across. Around you hangs the entire human defense fleet. Hundreds of ships in silent orbit around the garden world of Xylos. The resonance engine is online. It is a vast, beautiful structure attached to the flagship's spine. Its crystals pulse with a soft, white light. Everyone is waiting. The silence is tense. Orion's voice is the only sound. It is here. You look at the view screen. A section of the star field goes black. It is not a shadow. It is a hole. The Harvester has arrived. It moves with an unnatural grace. It ignores the fleet completely. Our weapons are like stones thrown at a hurricane. It glides toward the system's sun. A tendril of darkness reaches out and touches the star's corona. The light begins to dim. The Harvester is drinking the star. It is unmaking a sun, and it does so without a sound. Panic ripples through the fleet's communication channels. Captains report their sensors are blind. Targeting computers cannot get a lock. How do you shoot at nothing? How do you fight a hole in the universe? The Admiral's voice cuts through the fear. Hold your positions. Trust in the weapon. Trust in her. All eyes on the fleet turn to you. It is time. You walk from the bridge. You walk toward the glowing heart of the resonance engine. You take your place in the central chamber. The crystalline walls hum around you, sensing your presence. You close your eyes. You quiet your own thoughts. You reach out with your mind, not to one world, but to all of them. You call to the choir. From across the galaxy, from across time, they answer. It is not a whisper anymore. It is a flood, a tidal wave of memory and soul. The lives of 1 trillion worlds rush into you. You feel a mother's love for her child on a planet that turned to dust 1 million years ago. You taste the sweetness of the first fruit of harvest on a world whose sun is now dark. You hear the symphony composed by a being of pure sound. You feel their joy, their art, their peace. And then you feel their end. You feel the cold terror as the sky went dark. You feel the silent unmaking of everything they ever loved. The grief is an ocean. It threatens to drown you. But you do not fight it. You become its voice. You open your mouth to scream. The sound that emerges is not your own. It is the combined, focused grief of 1,000 murdered civilizations. It is a sound of pure life refusing to be silenced. The resonance engine fires. A beam of white light, a carrier wave of pure emotion, erupts from the ship. It crosses the distance to the harvester in an instant. The psychic shockwave hits the void. And for the first time in 1 billion years, the silence is broken. The void shatters like black glass. The perfect geometric shape cracks and splinters. The wave of memory, of life, is a poison to its sterile existence. Revealed inside the broken shell is a being, a creature of perfect lines and cold light. It has no face, but you can feel its shock, its confusion, its pain. It had never encountered anything like this. It cannot process the beautiful, chaotic storm of emotion. It cannot withstand the song of life. The harvester recoils. It pulls its tendril from the dying sun. The star's light flares back to life. The being of perfect geometry folds in on itself. It rips a new hole in space, a frantic, messy tear. It flees into the tear, escaping the sound of 1,000 worlds crying out for justice. The harvester is gone. It is wounded. It is afraid. The fleet is silent for a moment. Then every channel erupts in a cheer that shakes the stars. Back on the Citadel, the Elder Ones are watching. The psychic echo of that final scream crosses the galaxy. It is not a memory. It is not a feeling. It is data. Hard, undeniable, and terrifying data. They see the harvester's retreat. They see the weapon that drove it away. A weapon powered by something they dismissed as a flaw. They finally have their proof. You are no longer the mad prophet. You are the woman who saved Xylos. You are no longer alone with the ghosts of space. For the first time, the galaxy is learning how to listen.